So as the war in Ukraine is not going the way the globalists and the military-industrial complex want it to, they summon their witch and they summon their demon, Marina Abramovic, to get involved. Now, I'm going to read this story that just broke from the Telegraph, and I'm going to break this down to you in a way that only InfoWars can. This is what we're built for, folks. And by the way, it's not just me on the air, it's the crew, where this story breaks, and we've already done the life of prep work, enabling us to actually present this segment for you better than anybody else. So what you're seeing on the screen as I read this story is Marina Abramovic and her spirit cookings and her weird satanic behavior. So just understand that's what you're seeing on the screen as I read the story. Here it is, breaking now from the Telegraph. Zelenskyy asks Marina Abramovic to be ambassador for Ukraine. Vladimir Zelenskyy has asked Marina Abramovic, the performance artist, to be an ambassador for Ukraine. Ms. Abramovic, a fierce critic of Vladimir Putin's illegal invasion, said the Ukrainian president had asked her for help in rebuilding schools. I don't believe my crew, okay? I got to tell you, I think my crew is playing a trick on me right now. I think this is their idea of a joke, right? You guys are joking with me here. They told me in the break, they said, hey, we got a story for you. It just went live on the Telegraph. They're going to bring Marina Abramovic in as an ambassador for Ukraine. Oh, man, I'm like, you guys are funny. You guys know how to lighten me up. You guys know how to make a good joke. This is a joke, right? You guys are spoofing the Telegraph. You guys created this article, right? This is a joke on me. You guys are playing a prank on me, right? This isn't real. I mean, no. See, the crew is in my ear talking to me. No. Zelenskyy asks Marina Abramovic to be ambassador for Ukraine. Okay, all right, hold on a second, hold on. Hold on. Because if you're tuning in, maybe you don't know who Marina Abramovic is, and so you don't understand why this is so ridiculous, or you don't understand why I don't believe it. Marina Abramovic is a woman who has satanic, ritualistic blood ceremonies. I don't even know what, it's just, she does satanic witchcraft ceremonies for some of the biggest names in entertainment like Jay-Z. She's in the Podesta Democrat emails from the WikiLeaks years ago, and she does what they call spirit cookings. She's very in tune with the dark spirit world. I mean, I don't even want to tell you the type of stuff that she does, but again, you're here tuned in. This is her painting human blood and feces and semen in a satanic ritualistic art display. And again, she does this with all these big Hollywood people, all these big political people. They call it a spirit cooking. I mean, I'm barely scratching the surface of what this woman has been involved in. And Zelenskyy wants her to become the ambassador. Okay. So this is real. They just published this. This is real. Let me tell you what this is really about, because this is the mind-blowing stuff. And I will tell you this, and I'll speak for myself. Alex Jones will return next week. But, you know, InfoWars has had to kind of, and it's not even because of the lawfare. It's not even because of, like, we censor ourselves. It's just our audience has grown, and our respect in the world has grown to such an extent, and the media has expanded to such an extent where we don't really have to go into these dark crevices of conspiracy, and we don't have to go into these dark crevices like with spirit cookings and stuff. We like to stay more kind of in the main now, because more people are listening, and the main is so crazy that we can use the main to bring people in and then expose the truth. But I've ran long here. So when I come back, I'm going to tell you what this is really about. And we're going to go classic InfoWars on you when we come back from this break. But you got to understand, folks, the goals here have not changed. And I can't even believe this was not intended. My soliloquy to start this segment and now this news that just they brought to me was not planned as I'm breaking this down. But see, this is why InfoWars has to stay on the air right here. Because nowadays, InfoWars is just, we're just hitting every fastball out of the park. And we usually don't swing at pitches in the dark anymore. And we don't swing at the pitches in the dirt. And we're not swinging at pitches that we don't want to hit. We're choosing our pitches to hit now. But I'm gonna swing at this knuckleball in the dirt. When we come back, I'm going to swing at this knuckleball in the dirt. And by the way, we're like Vladimir Guerrero, the famous baseball player. He would hit balls off the dirt. They would throw a ball, it would bounce before it got to home plate. He'd hit it out of the park. So we're going to do that on the other side. I'm going to tell you what this is really about. We're going to go classic InfoWars on the other side of this break, folks, because this is insane. So as the war in Ukraine is not going the way the globalists and the military-industrial complex want it to, they summon their witch and they summon their demon, Marina Abramovic, to get involved. Now, I'm going to read this story that just broke from the Telegraph, and I'm going to break this down to you in a way that only InfoWars can. This is what we're built for, folks. And by the way, it's not just me on the air, it's the crew, where this story breaks, and we've already done the life of prep work, enabling us to actually present this segment for you better than anybody else. So what you're seeing on the screen as I read this story is Marina Abramovic and her spirit cookings and her weird satanic behavior. So just understand that's what you're seeing on the screen as I read the story. Here it is, breaking now from the Telegraph. Zelenskyy asks Marina Abramovic to be ambassador for Ukraine. Vladimir Zelenskyy has asked Marina Abramovic, the performance artist, to be an ambassador for Ukraine. Ms. Abramovic, a fierce critic of Vladimir Putin's illegal invasion, said the Ukrainian president had asked her for help in rebuilding schools. The 76-year-old Serbian is holding her first solo exhibition in the UK and is the first female artist to have a major show in the main galleries of the Royal Academies of the Arts in London. Visitors to the exhibition must squeeze between two nude models to enter the show, or opt to bypass what one journalist dubbed the naked gates. Quote, "I was the first artist to support the Ukraine war against Russia and to give my voice. It is definitely a repetition of history," she said in an interview with the Modern Art Museum in Shanghai. "I've been invited by Zelenskyy to be an ambassador of Ukraine to help the children affected by rebuilding schools and such." She added, "I have also been invited to be a board member of the Babin Yar organization to continue to protect the memorial." The Holocaust Memorial, center to Jews murdered by Nazis in Ukraine, was damaged by Russian missile attacks in March this year. Ms. Abramovic installed her work, Crystal Wall of Crying, at the Memorial Center in Kiev 4 months before Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. The wall, 40 meters long and 3 meters high, is made of coal and has a large quartz crystals sticking out of it. Visitors can touch the installation, which mirrors the Western Wall in Jerusalem. It was not damaged in the missile strike, which killed 5 people and damaged a building. It's like it was protected by demons, or maybe it wasn't the Russians and somebody else that took it out. I'm paraphrasing out on my own words here. Getting back to the story. Making the Crystal Wall of Crying was just the first step in dealing with the new history and figuring out how to help heal our increasingly divided world, Ms. Abramovic said. The artist posted a video online days after Putin launched his unprovoked war. Unprovoked. In it, she spoke about being born in the former Yugoslavia, which was once invaded by the Soviet Union, and called Ukrainians proud, strong, and dignified. Yes, Zelenskyy, very dignified. "I have full solidarity with the Ukrainian people on this impossible day," she said in the video. "An attack on Ukraine is an attack on all of us. It's an attack on humanity, and it has to be stopped." What is that, a political message? Yes, it is. The story concludes, "Shortly after the invasion, Ms. Abramovic restaged one of her most famous performances. The artist is present to raise money from Ukraine," in which Christians would tell you is a sacrilegious display making fun of Jesus Christ and Christians and the crucifix. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. There's one more page to this. I continue. She was asked how she reconciled the transcendent nature of her work, with the cruel realities of the modern world. I think true change only comes by changing yourself. By changing yourself, you can change thousands and you can change the world, she said. Gandhi, she compares herself to Gandhi. Is this a joke? Gandhi was one example in history who made a revolution without dropping a single drop of blood. Folks, she is mocking this reporter. I continue. Ms. Abramovic is just one of several celebrities to be recruited to help Kiev public relations battle ensure continued support for its struggle. Mark Hamill, the actor who played Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars films, has raised funds to buy reconnaissance drones for the frontline Ukrainian troops. Okay, that is the conclusion. All right, so as I'm reading this, you're looking at all the stuff that Marina Abramovic engages in. This is her art. This is her performance art. Now, knowing nothing and just watching this, what would you think about this woman? She's clearly deranged. She's clearly demented. And she's very into what would appear to be Satanism. Any ignorant, neutral observer would see this and say, okay, well, that's what this is. Now, let's give a little more context on Marina Abramovic. She's in the Democrat Party Podesta WikiLeaks emails talking about spirit cooking parties and other such things for the Democrats. Now, I'll explain why in a second here. She also, and this is all just to solidify her dark witchcraft, is in the introduction of the Microsoft technology where you put on the VR and you enter into the digital world, and she's like the godmother in that digital world. That's all done intentionally to put this witch in there. And I don't say that as an insult. I mean, you can see she's literally a dark witch. And so that's to make her the godmother of the new digital world, a satanic world, a false world, an insult to God, the creator. This woman does spirit cookings, as I've said, where they take feces and human blood and semen and animal blood and semen and rub it on themselves, and they rub it on walls and paintings, and they call it performance art. Now, Marina Abramovic is very popular in the Hollywood world, which obviously doesn't have many morals, if any at all, and they like to consult her when they do their dark, twisted art. Now, why this woman would be involved in rebuilding schools is a whole nother deck of cards that it would seem is a direct insult to children and an attempted satanic indoctrination of the children. She doesn't have any experience or resume to be involved in rebuilding schools. Her resume is a satanic performance artist, of which you're seeing a lot presented on the screen in front of you. So here's what I think is going on here. They know that the war in Ukraine is failing. They had larger agendas for this war in Ukraine, and it really might be World War III, kill 7 billion people in a nuclear war. And so they have to call one of their leading dark arts satanic witch doctors to try to call on the demonic spirit world to get their mass depopulation World War III back on tracks. And so this is why the modern education system and the modern philosophy wants to teach you that you evolved from monkeys. No, ladies and gentlemen, you are a divine creation. Demons are real. Angels are real. God is real. They know it. The ancients knew it. They don't want you to have access to this world. They don't want you to have the curiosities of your own divine creation. And so they're cutting you off from it while they know it's real. Yes, They are summoning demons, in my view. They are summoning demons to help them get their World War III nuclear holocaust and kill 7 billion people on this planet. And so they are re-emerging one of their dark art satanic witch doctors, Marina Abramovic, to do just that. And as we go to break, I know there's people tuned into this that think that's crazy. But have you noticed the world around you? Have you noticed what art looks like now? Have you seen on the screen what Marina Abramovic is involved with? And you think I'm crazy? I wouldn't discount anything I've said. I would not discount anything I've said, because this is exactly what's going on, folks, in my view. Now imagine, and this is the cognitive dissonance of people. You tuned in, and we weren't expecting to have this Marina Abramovic story. But you tune in. Again, this is a Democrat spirit cooker. A Democrat spirit cooker. Marina Abramovic going to be an ambassador to Ukraine. Imagine, you tune in and you hear that last segment and you think, my goodness, this InfoWars, these people are out of their minds. This Owen Schroyer host is completely out of his mind. You know what? Fine. I don't really care. I'm out of my mind. Okay. I'm crazy. Sure. But now what about Marina Abramovic? Now let's see Paul Allen's card. Oh, yes, I'm crazy. I'm crazy. But the woman who douses herself in semen and feces and blood and calls it art, that's normal. And now she's going to be an ambassador to Ukraine. That's not crazy. The guy who talks about it and thinks it's crazy is crazy. And isn't that how crazy it all is? But see, that's the issue right there. That's the cognitive dissonance people have. Is that they will tune in and think that this guy is off the rails, InfoWars is bat crap crazy, and yet they can't stare into the same abyss that I stare into when a Democrat spirit cooker that rubs human waste on her body and uses it for art becomes an ambassador to Ukraine. Like, there's something wrong with you. I'm fine if you think I'm crazy. That's fine. I have no problem with that. You can hate me. You can think I'm nuts, out of my mind. Sure, maybe I am. But if that's your response to the last segment and not, what in the hell is this woman doing? Why in the hell is she an ambassador in charge of rebuilding schools? Then you are suffering from cognitive dissonance, and you have been brainwashed and mind controlled, so brain damaged that you can't even see the world in front of your own eyes. So I would just reevaluate your perspective. I would realign your vision, because this isn't about InfoWars or Owen Schroyer being crazy. And if that's what you think it is, then you've already lost the war for your mind, and you've already lost the war for your soul.
Viewers and listeners have heard me for a long time talk about how amazing our products are. But our 3 best-selling products over the years are not always available because they're so hard to source and get the actual super high-quality ingredients. But after more than 2 years, we finally have all 3 of these great products. Real Red Pill Plus, DNA Force Plus, and Body's Ultimate Turmeric Formula are all in stock right now and are discounted 40% off. This is the trifecta sale. And the ingredients in these products are game-changing. DNA Force Plus, the PQQ, the CoQ10, and all the other known documented highest quality ingredients to boost your immune system, clean out your blood, clean out your cells, and make your telomeres last longer. Go research DNA Force Plus right now at InfoWarsStore.com. Real Red Pill Plus has got the amino acids with the folic acid that actually takes it through your cells and gives you full energy, the pregnenolone, the copper, so much more, Real Red Pill Plus. Then we have Body's Ultimate Turmeric Formula, the strongest turmeric on the market, 95% curcuminoid. The average competitor is 5%. You still get a great response. Turmeric is incredible. All three of these are 25% off individually. But right now, if you get all three, the trifecta, you get 40% off, and it keeps us on air, and it funds the operation. Look, these are already great sellers. People that already got it know how good it is. But for those that have been on the fence and have never tried these products, this is your chance to experience all three at 40% off and support the broadcast. So take action now. Go to InfoWarsStore.com for DNA Force Plus, Real Red Pill Plus, and Body's Ultimate Turmeric Formula for 40% off at InfoWarsStore.com.